Hi there everyone, and welcome back to another season 3 video. We are fitting some things that I haven't fitted before, such as Windwings and sun visors today, so I hope you get something out of that. Please give me a like and subscribe so I can get something as well. We're just approaching 800, so I'll be made up if I get over 800 subscribers. Thank you very much. Still replying to all your comments, so keep them coming. And with that, I think we're just going to crack on. Let's go. Now the sun visors are pretty simple. They're just cut out bits of perspex, whatever colour you wanted. Apparently the tinted blue, which I initially thought about, does look a bit rubbish. So we've just gone for the sort of black, I think, smoked. One side is protected, the other side isn't, because obviously some hinges have been fitted. These are from Craft, by the way, so Chris has done a nice job here. And they just come with these little screws up here, which will just mount, I can't focus on that, but they're going to mount here and over there. So I'm going to have a go at fitting them. Well, there they are. Quite nice units actually. The screw holes are just a little bit closer together than the fittings, which is purposeful because it introduces just the slightest bow and curve in the visors, just to follow the windscreen line. So I think that's quite a nice touch. But yeah, looks like they're going to do what they're going to do. As well as the visors, Craft and other places do Windwings. So these fit onto the side of the window, and they give you a little bit more of a comfortable drive. They deflect the wind away from you, giving you a bit of a calmer bubble inside the car. So we're going to have a look at fitting these next. These are made out of glass. I believe you can also get perspex. Alright, so first time fitting these. Now you've got slightly longer bracket here and shorter ones here. I presume one of each, one for top and bottom, whichever needs the longest one. And then you've got some screws and some nylon washers. I think these screws are to replace the existing windscreen screws. So you take out the shorter ones and then you put these longer ones in, sandwiching the hinge there. So let's get it all opened up and then have a look. Okay, so I think I've got a handle on this. This longer bracket here, hinge, goes on the bottom because the screw is further away on the windscreen upright. So this is on the bottom. Now I'm presuming I don't do any washer or anything between this little bolt and the metal work there. I've got the nylon washer there because we're going to sandwich the windscreen, and then after the windscreen I'm going to put another nylon washer, and then I think one of these included normal washers comes into play, because then we've got then the nut to do up on the outside. So I think that's the way forward. I'm pretty confident. So let's have a look at that. Right, so I'm just going to go in there with my nylon washers. All right, so just finger tight at the moment, and we'll see how that goes. But I think that's what we're doing. Well, actually, I don't think we are doing that, because I have run out of nylon washers. If I was to do 2 more, then... So they are obviously for somewhere else. And being that we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them, I'm not quite sure. They certainly wouldn't... well, they're not going to go... they're not going to go here because that's where the countersink is. This goes straight into the windscreen side. I'm pretty confident you don't have to protect that. I'm pretty confident that you have to that you're meant to be protecting the glass as that's done up, so you don't crack it. So I'm going to continue with that, and I'll ask the question whether I'm meant to have more or whether I'm doing it wrong. It does make these, putting all this on does make these nuts a little short, so there must be another answer there. All right, having looked at it now, I think the answer is they don't go on both sides. I think we're only going to be doing it on one side, and that is the on the nut side, because you're going to get quite a different pressure there as that's doing up against the glass, whereas this this hinge side is nice and flat and even. So I think we're going to remove them from that inside. All right, yeah, that looks loads better. All right, so there we go. So those longer screws just fitted into the frame there, really nice. I hadn't tightened these up totally because there's a little bit of movement. The holes are slightly bigger through the glass. So I've tightened these brackets up now, and I've let these sort of locate themselves, and now I'll tighten them up and finish them off. But I think that's all quite a nice feature there. I'm sure it'll make driving a bit more of a pleasure. There we go, both Windwings are on, and I've got to say, it fairly makes the car. I could probably give or take the visors, but I think the Windwings are excellent. Well, things are really moving on apace here. In fact, I now need to strip the car in double time because I have a paint shop slot. So we're going to get all the shiny stuff stripped off, take all the speakers out and the amp, lots of other things, filler cap and everything else, and get it prepared to send it off to the paint shop, which I'm actually going to do. I've hired a trailer and I'm going to put it on there and take it up there myself. So we need to get cracking. So just to give you an idea of what needs to be stripped off ready for the paint shop, and things that you need to have made holes for are basically anything shiny, really. All the windscreen and all the locks and filler cap, nudge bar, jack lifters, etc. And you need to have made holes already for all the fittings. So I've already drilled holes for all these screws. Obviously the filler cap's been fitted, and I've got holes already made, because you don't really want to be drilling holes into fresh paint in fear of it cracking, etc., or you slipping with the drill and making a mistake. So that's all good, and that's exactly what we've been aiming for all the way up to this point. So I'm going to now just strip off all the gear. The only things I'm going to leave the gas rams, because with the gas rams fitted, it kind of pushes the bonnet and the boot into a slightly different position as if it compared to if it was just laying there, and you need it in that sort of position so they can lay the stripes if you're having stripes, and generally paint it all correctly. So I'm going to be doing all of that. I've got to take all the lights off and just have a quick look around to make sure I have made absolutely all the holes. I'll be also taking the exhaust off, and as soon as I've taken the exhaust off, I'm going to be drilling the holes for the kind of escutcheons. So I've marked up my holes ready to go. I'm going to drill them, and that's it. Side in the repeaters. It's all got to go, and it's all got to go in the lounge. So nice large G&T for my wife. Right, so it's worth mentioning, there's a couple of things that I'm not going to remove. So I've taken off the escutcheon here, for example, and then I'm simply just going to push this wiper gearbox motor back into the car and just let it rest along the bottom. There's no need to take out the wiper motor and the whole worm gear, etc. That's just a whole load of faff. Yeah, I'm just going to push them in, and once it's painted, we'll just push them back up again. They'll just rest on top of the wiring and everything else just fine. It's also worth noting that you should maybe label up a couple of things, because you might have measured things on one side that won't fit on the other side. I'm going to make sure I label up driver side and passenger side harness mounts there, and likewise such things as all the metal work here for the quick jacks as well, because these would have been cut to a certain length, and also the 10mm bar inside holding it all there. So I'm just going to mark all that up, driver side, top, bottom, etc., with a bit of masking tape or something, so that I know it where it goes when it comes back. There we go, that didn't take too long. Actually, it's a bit of a surprise that it took so long to put it all back to put it together in the first place, but there we go. Everything's nicely stored away in my lounge. So I've got all the bits off here. I've kept a couple of nuts and bolts to keep the scoop on, but obviously they'll take that off and spray it, etc. All lights. Remember the splitter also has to come out because they're going to do a bit of sanding and stuff around the nose, so they need easy access. So we're all good there. I'm planning on driving it onto the trailer, so I've left the dashboard in, taken the speakers out, taken a lot of stuff out. Also all the wires, all the lights, I mean, left that lock on just so they can put it into a locked position to make sure they center the boot properly, etc., and get the stripes on there. But yeah, I'll see you in the morning. Well, it's been quite the journey so far. Thanks for sticking with me. Please give us a like and subscribe, and I'll see you again.